Studio this morning is Investigator Kramer with the Monmouth Police Department. Good morning.
Good morning, Vanessa.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good. I'm glad Friday we're going to get this rain out for the car show.
I was going to comment on that. So hopefully we can get we get that much rain, there's going to be a lot of water puddles. So.
Yes. It's just a chance of rain practically every day till we get to Friday, and hopefully we don't get real heavy rain.
Yeah, hopefully with the weather it misses it, or with the way it usually works, it'll just miss us and we'll be good. So we'll just have some humidity and heat. How about that?
There you go. And people be very careful tomorrow. That 108 degrees, it'll sneak up on you quick in the afternoon.
Very, very quickly. Stay hydrated.
Yes. I know we got some football going on. We got the Titans tomorrow actually scrimmage Knoxville in the morning, so get that out of the way before that heat moves in.
Can't believe we're talking about football already.
We are.
It's crazy. Where'd July go?
I know, right? Kids will be back in school soon.
It's very soon. Very soon.
All right, we're going to talk about quite a few scams hitting our local area. One for sure that hopefully people are understanding is this Illinois tollway scam.
Yep. So, I mean, they're phishing text messages. And it'll say, this is the Illinois tollway. You have unpaid fines, something along those lines, and it'll have a little link on the bottom. And once you get that link, they'll start requesting payment information. And it's not the Illinois Tollway Association or Authority, I guess is what it's called. I personally have received that text message. And honestly, a lot of the scams that we talk about on here, I personally either receive text messages or in emails. So it's all firsthand knowledge. I mean, it happens to everybody, and, not only individuals, but businesses as well. So
delete that text message.
Yeah. I mean, all those text messages that you get like that, we've always we talk a lot about how technology and how it can be kind of a pain. But honestly, you have all the resources at your fingertips to verify the messages, the information that's getting sent to you. It's just taking that extra step to see, hey, is this really legit? You go to the Tollway Authority website and you can verify, hey, you should know if you've driven through the tollway, if you've missed any or not. And they actually have a pretty user-friendly system up there for registering your plate if you do go up there. So they're not going to send you that text message.
Okay. What other scams are affecting our local residents?
Obviously, it's still the warm weather, the soliciting of home repair fraud. I wouldn't say it's been up, but it's average to what it is this time of the year. Scams all the way from the driveway sealant, redoing the driveway, to your roofs, to siding. There will be some that try to get into your homes. I recommend anybody that comes soliciting to your door, if they have information, take it from them. Don't provide them any information and tell them you'll be in touch with them. Once again, it's, verify who they are. And if you had any work done or needed work done on your home and you contact a contractor, they're pretty booked up. So, I mean, the fact that anybody that's really going to come to your house to try to solicit work, I'd be a little surprised to see that.
Okay. What else do you have out there that's affecting our businesses, scam-wise too?
So, like I just said a minute ago, nobody is beyond becoming a victim of a scam or put in the position to become a victim. And, it includes individuals, the older population, and businesses. We've talked in the past months, unfortunately, about businesses that have sent out checks for payment. Those checks get intercepted in the mail. They get diverted into, somebody makes a check out to somebody else for the same amount. So all you see is that, hey, my check was deposited for the amount that I wrote it. A few months later, guess what? That company is calling wanting payment, and well, I mailed you the funds, and come to find out it's not the check didn't make it to the right hands. So the new one that we're seeing with that is ACH emails being sent out. And what's that? It's basically, the scammers are doing a little bit of work, and they're looking to see, do you have something going on in your business? Who would you use for, parts or pieces to your business? And they'll send an email saying, hey, we have a new easy way of payment. Use our ACH system, and they'll direct you to provide your banking information, and you'll make a deposit into their ACH account.
And it's not really the person you're doing business with.
No, it's not.
So that one, that one, we've seen that, and I just don't open it, and I figure, well, gosh, hopefully, if it's a legitimate person,
they'd reach out, or even make contact with them. Like I said, just verify, hey, I got an email saying there's a new ACH. Is that, is that the legitimate thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
And
it's better to be,
with employees.
Yes.
So they get ghosted.
That's another one, employers, quotations, since you can't see me, will send out emails saying, hey, we've redone direct deposit, or we need to update your direct deposit, something along those lines, to get your routing number and your bank account information. And it's a scam. So you need to, if you get those emails from your employer, you need to reach out to, human resources or who does your payroll and verify. Because if you've got it, I guarantee there's probably other employees in that company that have received the same email.
You got it.
But yeah, we see that one coming and going often too. So
okay. All right, what else is going on here?
Well, looking at a couple things that you put in front of me. Number one is that student loan forgiveness scams that are out there. They're going to tell you, you need to apply, you need to do it. It's going to be pressure. You're losing time. There's only so much money involved. Wherever you see those at, whether it's in an email, on a Facebook ad, Instagram ad, you can legitimately look up and see if that's a real loan forgiveness. And,
yes.
And a lot of them aren't. Some of them are. Unfortunately, it's the world that we live in. But the more lucrative that it looks, probably the more likely it is to be a scam. So.
Well, and the bad guys are taking advantage of the fact that student loan forgiveness is a constant title in so many different news articles. Mm-hmm. One day it's forgiven, one day it's not. This type is forgiven, this type is not. So they're using that as an easy gimmick to get people with student loans to click on it.
Yes. There's also some loan forgiveness out there that have been involved in class action lawsuits, where law firms are looking to draw in people, which, hey, it could be legit. It might not be legit, but those are out there. And if you see something and you think you meet the criteria, research it. Actually, just don't click on the link. Google's a great thing. You can Google and see. And a lot of times if they're scams, it'll tell you, this has been scammed. This has been reported as a scam. So you don't fall for it.
Okay.
What else do we have going on?
We definitely talk a little bit about the AI scams, because the telephone, when it can be you think they sound like they're real, like it's your relative.
Yeah. So, sorry, I missed that one. But yeah, you've got the AI scams where they're using, it used to be, they'd say, your grandson's being held in Mexico or whatever else. Well, now they're taking technology to where they can take the voice of a family member, whether it's anywhere on the internet. All it is taking that voice segment, duplicating it, and then making it into their own.
And they only need a few seconds of the voice, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's very quick. The thing about it is that a lot of it's really good, but if you start interacting, their ability to respond to what you're saying is delayed. So if you start asking questions and then there's a pause and then it'll start talking.
Okay.
So, that's
so
kind of a
key.
Telltale sign. But, if it's a family member, hey, hit the end button, call them on the number that you know that they have, and see if it's really them.
Absolutely.
It's just about verifying. The other part of that, too, that we talked about a little bit earlier was the scams going on with the government entities, like the sheriff's departments, the police departments, calling and requesting funds, either one to avoid fines, warrants. They're exploiting for anything. And just remember that no local police department, no local sheriff's department is ever going to call you and request funds to either try to take care of a warrant or to try to take care of a fine. And those keep coming back, and they're using actual deputies' voices in those scams as well.
Of our local deputies?
Yeah.
Wow, that is so creepy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, it sounds real, but like I said, we don't solicit that. And that's just not the business that any agencies are in. If you do get that call and you're concerned, hang up, call the sheriff's department that they said they're from, call the police department that they said they're from, and just confirm the information that was being provided. They change all the time. So maybe the next time it's not going to be to provide information for a warrant or something. Maybe it's an actual officer that just needs to talk to you in reference to a case. So I recommend just to follow up and see if it's legit or not.
I read one this morning about a scam. A gentleman got a call, and they pretended to be the federal government. They were investigating a wire fraud and needed him to start moving his accounts, that someone was going to try to take his money. So he thought he was moving money for the federal government during this investigation, this high-profile investigation, to the tune of $740,000.
Yeah. The federal government's not going to call and tell you that.
No.
So, and another thing to add on that, the IRS is coming out with a website where you can verify who you're talking to. So if an IRS agent does call you, that they show you exactly the information they have to provide. You can actually go into their database and see if it's an actual IRS agent.
That's good, because those are common scams.
And it's also with like letters. So if you get a letter in the mail that there's a certain number on it that tells you, hey, this has been sent from the IRS, and it's going to be right off the IRS's website. I don't know if they've rolled it out yet, but I know it's coming.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a big one because, like I said, the government's not going to, the IRS isn't going to call demand, payment by gift cards or anything like that, but they might call you in reference to other business so you can at least verify who you're talking to.
Okay. And on back real quick to the AI-generated scams that can affect families where they say they've got a family member. It's good to have a family password.
Yeah, you can set up, it's kind of like going back to the old days where if you got locked out of your house or, you had to go to somebody, what's the family password? Yeah, absolutely. So, what's the color peach or what's, whatever's unique to your family.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You got to outsmart
the smart technology.
The smart technology, yes.
It's just verifying. I mean, a lot of it is, the biggest thing about scams is they're going to put pressure. All right, they are going to apply pressure that you need to do this now.
Right.
Just talked about, hey, your accounts are at risk of being thing. You need to move this money now. There's always going to be pressure, and they're always going to want you to provide something. So
verify, pressure are two key points to take away from today. Sure.
Yeah, verify for sure, and then if somebody's calling you, like telling you, putting the pressure on you, it's not good.
Okay. All right, what else do you have for us this morning?
Man, we could sit here and go on for hours about stuff that goes on. The biggest thing is just verifying. Last month Sean and I talked about, I had to receive that morning an Xfinity saying that my account was going to be canceled. Email. Looked legit. Kind of caught my attention. Went into the actual app, and yeah, it was a scam. Yeah, they're just, they're presenting a problem, and then obviously they're putting pressure because they're saying my services are going to be canceled, and just the biggest thing is to think that nobody's above being a victim.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm sitting here talking about this every month to you.
Yes.
We talk about the elderly, but it's honestly anybody, and they're very convincing. But like I said, there's these little clues that are going to pop out. The pressure. They're going to want to pressure you to do this now. They've even gone to the extent to saying that if you try contacting the police or your bank, they're going to tell you this is a scam. I promise you this is not a scam.
Oh, wow.
So they're even taking it to that level.
Okay. Anything else you want people to know about these scams?
Just the biggest thing is, and if you do fall victim, is don't be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Last year there was $10 billion lost to scams. So you're not the only one. You're not the first one. Unfortunately, you won't be the last. But make sure you come forward. Report it to the bank, report it to the authorities. Now, like I always tell people, I don't want to make an illusion that I'm going to get your money back for you, because I'm not. But there might be a piece to your scam that might go into the bigger investigation that they're just trying to put the puzzle pieces together that they didn't have. So by providing that information, you could easily add to the closure of a case. So I recommend, put the embarrassment factor away, document all the numbers, all the emails, any information that they sent you, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Get a lot of scam calls to you?
We do, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's too bad.
It's very too bad.
Any of them
locally,
like con artist type scams?
No.
Or most of them these phishing
AI, most of them are overseas related.
Okay.
You know, we talked a lot about too the debit card skimmers. You know, those are still out there. Which,
yeah, luckily the tap is starting to help with that.
Which that worries me though.
Really?
Because it's kind of an unsecured
Okay.
thing. You know, you got a wallet. You're obviously it's sensing something off that card. Well, it's not going to take long for the scammers to get the readers to be able to obtain that information. So,
Well, dadgum.
I think the chips is a solid way right now.
Okay.
Because it's actually physically has to read that chip, and unless there's a way that they're skimming those that I don't know of yet.
Okay.
But I think that's a pretty positive way.
Okay.
So, but you know,
And that's mainly at the gas pump we're worried about.
gas pump.
Just go in and pay it. Like Dorothy always says from the bank, just go in and pay your gas.
Gas pumps. Well, even inside the point of purchase. I mean, you've seen the overlay devices that I brought in. You know, they just set them over top and it collects everything that goes through.
Wow.
But if you're using the chip, I think you're pretty safe for right now.
Horse and buggy.
Hey, it's
Horse and buggy, but we got to have electricity and showers.
Yes.
So horse and
Hot
buggy.
water's good.
Yeah, no internet.
Yeah, right.
Josh, thank you very much every month for coming in and keeping people up to date on the latest scams and what affects us locally here.
Hey, well, Vanessa, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, and I do appreciate when I get the call saying, "Hey, I heard you on the radio, and this happened to me." So, people are listening.
Well, we want them to definitely get a hold of you. Investigator Josh Kramer with us